a very important skill in the construction of formal proofs is the ability to identify sentences of the same form. So what is that? When are sentences of the same form? In the last part of the lecture, we talked about the rule reiteration. And I told you that the rule reiteration allows you to simply repeat a sentence. So for example, it allows you to repeat the sentence A if you had the sentence A at an earlier point in your proof. Now, what we there looked at was really a specific application of the rule. The sentence A is a specific TFL sentence, and I told you that if you have this sentence A in your proof, you can reiterate it at a later point in your proof. But reiteration as a general rule is actually much more general. What it tells you is that whenever you have a sentence of the form A, you can reiterate a sentence of that form at a later point in your proof. So the rule does not specifically tell you anything about the sentence A. It rather tells you a general fact about all sentences whatsoever. Whenever you have a sentence of the form A, you can repeat this sentence later on. So here are several different applications of the rule reiteration. As we have seen, the rule allows you to reiterate the sentence A if you have it at one point in your proof at any later point in the proof. Now, the same applies to the sentence B. If you have the sentence B at some point in your proof, you can reiterate this sentence at a later point. And it also applies to more complex sentences. So if you have a conditional, if A then B, you can repeat this sentence in a later step of your proof and justify this reiteration by citing the rule reiteration. And so on and so forth. So here are even more complex examples. Say if you have the sentence A, if A or C, then B and C, you can repeat this sentence at any later point in your proof and cite the rule reiteration. So the upshot here is that inference rules do not tell you that you can infer specific sentences from specific other sentences. Rather, inference rules tell you that if you have sentences of a certain form, you can infer sentences with a certain form. So for example, the rule conjunction elimination tells you that if you have a conjunction, you can infer either conjunct, as we will discuss in more detail in the next part of this lecture.